to the school can be to individual students but also to the whole school community. The program attempts to promote diversity consciousness and make students more aware of difference within the school and accepting difference within the school. It also empowers them, gives them a voice to be able to try and empower them to make change, either within the school or within their local community. Over the long term, this makes it possible for some sort of change within the school culture, which can really help a supportive school to develop.
I'm the school nurse at Rose Bay High School, and the Chill Out Zone is actually the brainchild of our grade 7 students, now grade 8 students, as part of the Fairer World Diversity Project. They came up with the idea to create a safe space where students would feel included.
Ever since then, it's still been up and running and going really successful. It's making grade 7s feel really welcome, especially coming into a high school being a scary place, obviously. It's been really great for them to feel safe, feel comfortable and just wanting to come to school.
So it's a place where students can feel they can come and talk to me one-on-one, or we can chat as a group about different issues that have come up through the past week. And then if they feel comfortable, then certainly we make appointments and we can have a one-on-one chat.
Well, there was one student once and he was sitting on a table sort of distressed and upset, and he sort of said to me, because I was walking past and I said, "Are you okay?" And he sort of said, "Where can I go?" And I said, "There's a chill out room." He went there and he's still going since, but it's really helped. What the best thing about grade 7s is that they can learn in grade 7 and then they've got the abilities to cope when they're in grade 8, 9 and 10.
The heart of the Let's Get Together program is the concept of diversity competence, an important requirement for life, work and citizenship in the 21st century. Being diversity competent requires specific, identifiable knowledge, skills and values. And the 8 Keys to Harmony provides a cohesive structure to build those through a transformative experiential learning process. The 8 Keys to Harmony is written as a student handbook so that students can see the logic of the program and their progress through it. The keys are arranged in a circle to symbolise the nature of change as an ongoing cycle of learning, experimentation and reflection. Each of the keys names up the learning objectives for the key, the focus questions and key concepts to be covered, and a suggested teaching sequence that briefly describes each of the learning activities.
The reason they are here is that they are very keen to support the students at Rose Bay High in trying to make the school and local community a safe, happier place to be at.
Well, when I started school, I was kind of taken back because it's so many people and it spiked my anxiety right up. And then I found out about these group of people who are really friendly and accepting, and I walked into the room and it made me feel safe, happy, and it's made me a calmer person.
Teacher professional development is important to ensure that those delivering the program are confident with the content, with the pedagogy and with the logistics. And it's really clear it became to us that some wanted to make a big impact. That's how they saw making a difference, like actually changing people's behaviour. Regular planning sessions allow staff to deal collaboratively with issues as they arise.
How does that look? That looks like it will work. Yep, alrighty.
The teachers involved find the Hobart Human Library a powerful tool to engage the students and really hook them in to the Let's Get Together program. Empathy can't be taught from a textbook or a computer. Something happens when you look into the eyes of another person and hear directly about our differences and our shared humanity.
Hello, my name is Minda Collins and my story is called Happy Face. And it's about my experience of the prejudice around mental health and having a so-called disability. Happy Face is something that I've come to learn and make a part of me. It is where I'm concealing feelings of hurt and pain and just pretending that everything is fine. It's a defence I've learned over the years, and my name for that mask that I hide my depression behind.
You had 3 people till you worked out what was going on, and then did you look at it? So how did it make you feel? If you had an emoji, what emoji would you use? Sad emoji.
Perspective taking is about trying to see the world through the perspective of another's eyes, their feelings, their thinking, their experiences.
So maybe instead of a freeze frame, should we do like just a little play or something like that?
It helps us understand ourselves better and also others. It reduces conflict, and it also helps us to widen our own view of the world.
Sorry, but you're sick. I can't deal with this.
No, please don't go.
We can do this by empathic listening, being curious, actively imagining ourselves in the shoes of another person, suspending judgment.
Well, I was bullied through primary school a lot, so I knew how she was feeling, but not quite how she was feeling.
She was very interesting because she was so brave when she got bullied and stuff.
I told someone and then I went to a counsellor about it. Tell people, because I used to be very secretive about it, and that people are there when you need to talk.
Because I got teased quite a lot in primary school because I was different.
How do you feel about being different now?
I'm quite happy about it because not everyone's the same.
Yeah.
And if we're all the same, it would be boring, the world.
Minda was brave and powered through all of it and had overcome all the obstacles on her journey. All that Minda has been through, in our eyes, Minda is a strong, inspiring, powerful, happy and bubbly person.
So this is the identity booklet, and on the front you put a picture of yourself, and then you turn over the page and you put things that you enjoy and that people know about you and that you love. And as you turn over the pages, you get deeper into things and you write things down that people may not know about you. And when you get to the last 3 pages, you write things down that people don't know about you.
Lots of different issues. There might be bullying, discrimination, with suicide threats, anxiety, depression, that kids might actually be willing to open up and put into their identity booklets. So we need to flag the issue straight away and identify what that issue is. It needs to go probably to at least a grade coordinator to start with, have that discussion. From there, it might be needing to be ramped up and go straight to a social worker, or it could be requiring further help outside of school.
Megan.
So sexual harassment could come in a number of different forms. It could be physical conduct such as touching.
Has anyone heard of intersex before? You know, we might be born fully male or fully female, but there are a lot of people who are born with both parts or not fully male or not wholly female.
I think we need to take a step back and really think about what is stereotyping.
Stereotyping could be judging someone that they're not and who people think they are when they really aren't.
Putting people into groups by what they look like and how they act.
Hands up if you agree with what Jacinta has just stated.
So we're pledging to do something for as long as we can, for a week or longer. This pledge is about not stereotyping anyone or categorising people into certain groups, because not everyone is the same. I pledge not to judge anyone for as long as I can.
I'd like to get some feedback around how you actually went with it, and did you achieve your pledge?
Not to judge someone by what they look like.
Excellent. And how long did you pledge that for?
About 3 weeks, so almost a month.
Yep, so you've done 3 days of it? And how are you coping?
It's easy, but then sometimes it's hard, because I used to do it up in Melbourne and Dad's like, Mia. I'm like,
and what does that look like for you to judge someone?
It makes me feel bad that I'm judging someone by what they look like, because they actually could be really nice.
Yeah, in the past, when someone sat next to me on the bus, I used to judge every aspect of them and make a kind of character profile of who they were. And after this program, I don't do that anymore. I just think they're a friendly person.
My name is Dakota and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
Okay, so after having just watched the Run Like a Girl video, we need to be considering several things, okay? So we need to be, number one, thinking about how that may or may not have affected you individually.
Some boys say that girls are weak and they can't do things that they do, but really they can. Like, it doesn't really matter if they're a girl or a boy, they can do anything they want.
When I was a little younger, I had a friend and she thought that she had to run like all girly and flitzy and stuff, but then as we got a bit older she realised that she didn't have to do that and she could actually run however she wanted.
So what we just saw there was something called an active bystander. Can anyone give me a brief description of what an active bystander is and what they might do? Sam?
An active bystander is someone that's not afraid to say no or stop it, they don't like it.
Someone who stands up for the person who's getting bullied and doesn't just sit there and does nothing about it.
Interesting.
Is that your only friend, the book?
Thank you.
If you said that book's your only friend, then where are your friends?
Right over there.
Only thing over there is a bush.
Thank you.
So we drew a bully punching another person, the victim.
When you see someone being bullied, you don't normally want to do anything because you don't want to get hurt yourself, but doing this activity kind of gives you many opportunities of what you can do rather than just saying, oh, I don't really want to get hurt and be in the middle of that situation, I should go away. Instead, you have many options of what you can do. If someone is bullying someone, they feel like they have a lot of power, but when someone else steps in and says something, they start to lose that power.
On the oval there was, I think, people saying not very many nice things to this other person, so I went and got help from a teacher. Well, I went and told them to stop first and then they didn't stop, so I went and got a teacher to help it.
This key is for students to understand the differing roles of support, education and advocacy in improving social inclusion. They learn to identify the difference between actions that are quick fixes and those that are going to contribute to longer term social change. This is a great time to talk about some of the historic social changes and how they came about. They might be things such as women's suffrage, the vote for Australian Aboriginals, the end of apartheid in South Africa, or the marriage equality in Australia.
Visioning is an important part of changing culture. But before we do that, it's important to make visible the hidden patterns and culture, and also listen to wider stories that can help us broaden our perspective. And then, using processes like guided visualisation, we can tune in to our inner source of wisdom, create a field of intent which invites in innovative possibilities.
There's 1 or 2 people coming in from different organisations, and they're talking about what their organisation is and how they can help and support people and what they do for them and what they care about the most.
That everyone's trying to make everyone equal and safe. I've heard that word a lot in the groups. To make them feel like someone's actually there for them.
They can tell people about their problem.
And that they're not alone.
You know, they actually work together to advise our council on things that are for all generations, for all of this.
That's a really good idea, Sophie. I found this great website that could help us do that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think that would be good to do.
Yeah, I think it'll really help us out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found a video on the A Fairer World website that we can look at, and it might give us a couple of ideas, and yeah, so let's just look at that.
I think we should use Always Like a Girl on our sexism stall on Action Day. I think it would be a really good idea to play it in the background for the grade 6s and everyone coming to watch.
Well, we had to, as a class, vote some of the things that we wanted to try and stop in our school, and many people wanted to try and stop rumours and backstabbing, and so we just decided to do that. Well, we had to put our topic, which in our case is rumours and backstabbing, and we had to write down what happens and what it leads to. So it could lead to depression, which then could lead to self-harm, or it could lead to loss of friends, or cyberbullying, not wanting to go to school.
Yeah, it could come from a friendship group who doesn't really want to be friends with you anymore, and they don't know how to tell you that, so maybe they just spread rumours or be mean to you.
So today is just about everyone pitching their ideas on what they are planning on doing for Action Day. They're trying to raise awareness and try and get everyone aboard to help them with what they've chosen. Most of the ones that I've seen so far are on mental health, and so depression and post-traumatic stress disorder and stuff, because it's such a big problem in not just like younger kids, like the youth, but it's in everyone. Our project is homelessness, and after researching the statistics of homelessness and realising how big of an issue it is, we have wanted to help raise the awareness. Our idea to raise money is to buy We Care bags for the homeless.
So will people have to do something to earn the badge?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a little sheet where, so the primary school students, they fill out and they write down what school they go to and one sexist thing that they have seen or heard or whatever.
One of the things teachers tell us they most appreciate about the program is that A Fairer World is local, and we have staff and volunteer teachers readily available to provide support and come out and do mentoring in the school. What will you then do with all of that information?
We're going to tally up the results of what everyone has told us, and we're going to present it in assembly to hopefully make a difference.
This is interesting, this bit here, where they've
you've got all of these statistics in this last bit where it says ever witnessed it. So many people have witnessed cyberbullying, but only a certain percentage say they've been bullied.
Yeah.
So how are you going to present that on the action day?
Well, we're going to have that sign up, and then people will read that, and then they'll go to this and have a look at that.
Our project is on homelessness, and we are selling lolly bags, and we are trying to make care packs for the homeless.
We're also doing a survey, which when they've done the survey and they've done their feedback, they will receive a lolly bag. So we got 2 free periods when our diversity teacher was free, and we went down to Eastlands and we asked, would you like to sponsor us in getting the money to make the care packs?
And we're going to give them Tamara House, which is like a homeless shelter for girls, and that's our aim to give them to. We've got a better understanding of the things that have been going on in the world, and it's got us to open our eyes and realise that it's not a perfect world and there are problems that people are facing.
We're obviously doing mental health / mental illness. Our plan is to raise awareness. We've got some things you can take, some brochures and some cards, and a little activity for you.
So mental illness and mental health, people think it's the same thing, but it's actually quite different. So mental health is your health, your well-being, how great you're going, and mental illness is depression, anxiety, and all sorts of things like that.
So we did a couple of surveys, and 90% of students in our school out of 3 classes have encountered sexism, so we're trying our hardest to try and prevent it.
Personal reflection. So if we go through the team reflection, team meaning you guys and how you went together as a group. Very quickly through personal reflection. So this is you and yourself. I don't want to see when we get to the personal reflection, you guys going off and talking in groups. This is you, yourself, and all about what you've done.
What did our project achieve? We achieved our team achieved so we can make people more aware of racism and think about racism more often.
We still need to put together a video and possibly share it in assembly.
What we would do differently is that we'd make sure we'd be more organised and be a bit quicker with our activity that we were doing.
As a team, we thought that we communicated with the community really well and we put things together really well.
To make sure the changes are sustainable, we are going to ask people about what they think after talking to us, and we asked a few questions and everyone's answers were all slightly different but sort of still the same, and we're going to ask them some different questions now.
I found out once our group surveyed a few grade 7 classes that there is a bit of sexism going on around our school and a lot of sexist comments have been said.
I've learned that we're all a different person and that we should accept who we are and who everyone else is.
I learned that there are more people suffering from different things every day.
I've learnt that racism, because that was my topic, that it was a bigger thing than I thought. Like the other day I saw someone bullying someone because they had darker skin.
That I think it would be helpful if we helped as many people as we can at once, but take it slow at the same time.
I value all of my friends, and I value that there's people out there that you can talk to, like for anything, and they'll understand.
I value more tolerant behaviour.
After doing this project and after having the people from the Human Library come in and then everyone's Action Day projects, I've kind of become more aware of what I'm saying and just think about what I say because it might hurt someone around me.
I don't stereotype people as much as I did, and if I do it, I normally notice if I do it.
Well, I guess I always know that there's always someone to talk to or to turn to, and to not be a bystander, actually try and stop it.
I would stand up for the person that is being bullied or harassed.